So, it's October 18th, and I'm going to kick off this lovely show, this lovely YouTube of mine, and I think I'm gonna call it Hoarder to Minimalist. Hoarder life to minimal life. I think that's gonna be the name. Hoarder life to minimal life. And the reason I say that is because since I have left North Carolina and been in the military, I have been enlightened on many of the things that I grew up that were normal that aren't normal to everyone. You know, it's normal to people who come from either my type of background or my type of area or that type of lifestyle, but it's not normal for a lot of people. And I want to highlight that. I want to highlight the fact that not everyone comes from a nice fancy home. You know, I've gotten statements before on, you know, oh, you just look like a little rich white girl. And people say that because they don't know my background, and they see me and the way that I carry myself now. It's a lot different than how I was when I grew up, when I was living in survival mode, you know. And so it's just ignorance when people say statements like that because they don't know, and that's okay. And that's why I feel like God's given me a voice, is to shine light on things that people don't know about. One of those things, and why I'm picking hoarder life to minimal life as the topic, as the main focus, is because it's something that I struggle with on the daily. I struggle with being very, very untidy, and being very messy. And that's because my granny was a hoarder. She was not a hoarder on a full scale, but it was borderline, right? And so something that I wake up and I try to do every day is to show up and be somewhat organized, and for things to have a place. And I say that as right now, I wish I could turn this around. Let's see if you can see. This is my bedroom right now. You see the hamper over there and the clothes and the drawer wide open and that wide open with the clothes on the floor and the desk, the vanity. Yeah, it's just, yeah. And I show you that, and I have that here because it is a struggle. It is a struggle. It definitely is. So, yeah. A part of that, right? Some people are gonna see this and be appalled, right? Some of my very neat, OCD people, are gonna see that and be like, how in the world are you operating? Not all OCD people, but some of them may be a little judgmental, or maybe like, how do you live like that, right? And that's why I'm bringing this to light, because not everybody lives the same, in case everybody knew, right? And this is something that I was actually talking to one of my coworkers about was I asked him, he has very lovely teeth, like very white, clean, very pink gums, like they're very nice. And we got to talking about it one day, and I was like, growing up for you, like, what was your hygiene like, And like, his mom, made sure, like, every day, like, he actually brushed his teeth 3 times a day growing up. And so to him, a lot of things are like brushing your teeth. Like, that's how he thinks about things. It's like, oh, it's like brushing your teeth. You just get up and you should do it. It's a muscle memory. It's a habit, It's something you don't even think about. Like, you just get up and you do it, okay? And I explained to him that for some people, that is a common statement. But for other people from my neck of the woods, for instance, in the way that I grew up, I'm not saying everybody from North Carolina is like this. I'm just saying in my level of being raised and the way that I was raised and the family that I was raised in, that wasn't as common, just the way that I was raised. Not everyone in my family is this way, but a lot of them didn't take care of their teeth. A lot of them go or have went, days without brushing their teeth. And so when I was raised, Granny would tell me, like, hey, make sure you brush your teeth. Or if my breath stank or something, hey, you need to go brush your teeth. But there was never a lot of follow-up on that every single day, every single meal. And so it did not become a habit that I brush my teeth every morning, afternoon, and evening. It was not second nature to get up and brush my teeth every day, all day, 2 times a day. It wasn't. It wasn't enforced. And so only as an adult did I realize that to some people that's natural. Like, it is a common thing. Like, it is muscle memory to some people. And then others, like myself, you are building a new habit. You are building a new habit. You are getting over your laziness to just get up out of bed and go brush your teeth. Because once you're young and it's a habit, then it's a habit. It's good. You're good. Like, I've had plenty of people that I've known that because it was instilled in them at a young age, they don't have to think about it like I do. And that's why I want to bring light on this. Because people assume that people just know. That people should just do this. That this is how people are. Like, people are just clean. People are just naturally great people. People just naturally, have a nice smelling house and have a lovely wardrobe. And it is not that way. The same way that I had to realize that pimps are real. That drugs are real. That rape and gangs are real. To me, that was a reality because I knew drugs were real, I'm going to be honest with you, because my mom and my dad are drug addicts. My aunt and my sister. But I knew that they were real, but they weren't real to me because I didn't have that experience. I didn't have that introduction to those things, right? And, like, I would see the thing, people talking about pimps and stuff like that on TV, but I thought it was just TV. As a young, impressionable adolescent that was sheltered fairly well from terrible, terrible things other than, like sex or, knowing that my parents did drugs. I was pretty sheltered. I lived under a rock, and so I just couldn't fathom that, like, pimping was a real thing, or that, what do you call that? Trafficking, human trafficking was real. That was still even enlightening for me when I came, I don't know. I don't think enlightening was the right word, but it was a reality check for me when I came to live in another country. I'm like, holy crap. That is like a legit real thing. And so that's why I'm doing this. And that's why I'm making this known, because I want to release the stigma that everybody grows up the same way and that everybody knows the same thing that everybody else knows, because it's like an unspoken thing. Like, it's an unspoken expectation that people know what you know. Like, simple things about life. Simple things about life, and people expect that you know it. And it's just like me when I put on the next pay grade. People expect you to know some stuff, and you're like, I have no idea what the heck you're talking about. So, I hope that this will be enlightening to some people, and we'll see how it goes. I'm tired. I'm going to bed.